Hello everyone, Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo here for another State of the Game for Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. I have been sitting in this instance of the PU for about the last 20 minutes trying to do a State of the Game and talk about where they're at, where I'm at with my feelings, and all that's been going on in this session is a lot of, sorry, I can't give you this ship at this time, and the function buttons, the F button, not working very well. And it really does point to one of the frustrations I have right now with the PU. So I'm not going to speak from the frustration that I had when trying to do this the first time, and that ended in a few cuss words and me just getting upset because I couldn't get a ship out. What I am going to do is I'm going to talk about the game as a whole and where I feel things are. So for the past month, I've been playing a lot of Arena Commander and a lot of Star Marine. In fact, from time to time, you'll find me in there with Eden Star and Sophie Girl, having a great time trying to hunt each other down and shoot each other in the face. Those pieces of the game are good enough to distract me from the real issue, which is that moving the lumberyard is over, but we still have a lot of the same issues that are going on. Random crashes inside of the PU. The frame rate's a lot better most of the time, but it still lags more than any other game I have. But that's something that they're working on. But there are a lot of little glitches and problems that are in the game at this point that are going to be addressed in 2.61. Now, they had a Around the Verse this week, and in that Around the Verse they talked a lot about Pirate Swarm. My initial reaction to Pirate Swarm and statements that they were going to make even more levels and more ways to fight an Arena Commander was, why are you wasting the time on that when you should be delivering us fixes to the PU and actually delivering us 3.0? Why are you going to put more into Arena Commander? Because who's going to play Arena Commander when the game is live? Then I'll go into Arena Commander, have a really fun time, and that will go away. Now, Arena Commander to me is just a update to the original Wing Commander Armada, which was a fun game. All right, it's just like this. It's a gauntlet. You fight a lot of the Kilrati or whoever you wanted to fight from whichever side you wanted to fight. But I frequently would just go, all right, this is amazingly fun, but why? Why? And then the statements come out. They're using Arena Commander and Star Marine like it's a big duh. Most of us already kind of knew this without admitting it to ourselves. They're using it for testing out different pieces of the AI and different archetypes inside of the Arena Commander universe. So light fighter, heavy fighter, attack, missile, whatever it might be, missile boat, multi-crew ships, whatever it might be. And I like that. I think that makes a lot more sense that way. And it relieves the frustration that I've had that I see pieces of the game that work and pieces that are broken, like the PU right now, in that they are looking to the future and are using each piece for what it's real. Vitamin D screen? Vitamin D screen. Okay. So I stand here and sunlight comes into me and I get better. All right. But they are using the pieces of the game for what they're intended for in the alpha, which is for moving the game forward. And when that gets said, I actually get a little bit more... I get much more positive about my thoughts on the game. It's something that I really didn't think was going to happen. I thought that my experience in the game was going to be totally subject to what I was feeling at that moment. I've had amazing times inside of Vandal Swarm and Pirate Swarm with my fellow enablers, but I've also had very loud and obnoxious and throwing curses around tirades inside of our Discord channel about the state of the game at this point. And when I step back and I look at things and I see how far Lumberyard is taking us and how I have better frame rate than I've had in the past, and how they're going to be able to start implementing different pieces of the game that I always wish were there, I calm down again. But then I go to just do something as easy as find a ship, which we're going to go do together right now, and I get frustrated again. Because I'm a YouTuber and I'm trying to show off the game and get people interested, and this is what I have to show them. Not being able to hit the F key, server lag, I push the F key, I have to wait for minutes or hours for the actual... Here it goes. And that's lag. That's happening somewhere in the server side, right? Didn't work. I moved, so it pulled us off. So this is all server lag that's happening right now. Not sure why it's happening, but it's happening. So I cannot even find a ship at this point because of what's going on. And that makes it frustrating to say how great the game is. Well, it makes it frustrating because you can't say how great the game is when little pieces of the game are showing you that it's not so great. So here we are staring out at one of my favorite scenes. And I'm just wondering what it's going to take, when it's going to be that I could just jump in here and not have to fear that when I'm doing a 20-minute state of the game that something's going to break. Right, let's get off this piece. Let's get on to the other piece. I just want to talk a few minutes about the Drake ships. I am an owner of a Caterpillar. I am an owner of a Cutlass, and I am an owner of a Herald because of being a volunteer for CitizenCon, and I am an owner of a Buccaneer. Drake wasn't my first and favorite company. To me, I wanted to be more righteous in the world. I wanted to be that person that flew my Mustang, flew my Hornet, flew my Sabre, and did things for good. Now, it doesn't mean that if you own a Drake ship, you're ultimately bad. I mean, Robin Hood was a pirate, and he was good, right? If you believe the history. In real life, he was just a bandit, and many different people. But I just had this moniker attached to the ships. But there's so much more personality in the Drake ships. They spent a lot of time on them, and they do have their own look, feel, and theme. So I got my Caterpillar and worked very hard to get the pirate skin on it, and I've loved it since the day I've gotten it. The Cutlass, I've always been a proponent of its need in the game. Have one and always put it in my hanger and looked at it kind of like hanger eye candy. When the Buccaneer came out, I figured, oh wow, that's got to be a good ship. I want to get that, and I got it immediately because I wanted that fighter that battled against the Super Hornet or the Hornet and wasn't something from Anvil. Well, as time's going on, the ships of Drake have gone from being not my least favorite or not a ship that I didn't like, but something that just wasn't my first choice, to being something that I'm starting to love more and more every day. Now, my first choice every day to go and play with is my Constellation. I love that. And when I look for a fighter just to have fun in, I love to jump into my Mustang. That you know about me. But with the recent updates coming out, if you're a subscriber, you got to see the update pictures inside of the vault of the Cutlass, and the Cutlass is starting to flesh out to be a very nice ship, especially now that it carries that dragonfly in the back and the doors open on the sides. I'm beginning to believe that that ship is going to be something that I play from time to time. Something that will be has stepped up to the level of my Freelancer, which I still think Freelancer is amazing. The Herald is something that caught me off guard. I wasn't a Herald lover. I have one solely because I was a volunteer at CitizenCon, and that's what they gave us for volunteering. But since that ship has come out, I've had I've had a lot of fun on it inside a Vandal Swarm and inside a Pirate Swarm. It's not a fighter, but it actually holds its own. It's pretty decent in those two game modes. But when I think about what that ship is going to do, oh, they're not moving. Something just hit me. They're not moving. That's why it is server lag. There's something on the server side that's broken. Okay, we got that done. But the Herald took me by surprise. I like it. I like it a lot. And it's not going to be one of my favorite ships, but it's definitely going to be that sleeper ship that I use for the purpose that it is intended for. Stealing information. I mean, moving information from one end of the universe or galaxy to the other. And I think that is going to be fun gameplay at some point. The Buccaneer. They just gray boxed it. And in gray box, that thing is starting to come into its own. It's small, it's heavy, it's thick, it carries lots of armor, it's fast, it's going to be amazing. So, I'm finding that each one of these Drake ships, as they come off the line, I'm beginning to like them more and more every day. So we have 4, right? Well, we actually have 5 if you include the Dragonfly. So you have the Cutlass and Caterpillar, the Herald, the Buccaneer, and the Dragonfly. And I have every one of them, and I feel that these are going to be amazing ships. And I can't wait to see what else they do. All right, folks, I'm going to leave you with those statements. I think that this state of the game is going to end there before I start cussing at the world again. I'm sure that this server error will be fixed in the very near future, and that we will be able to play our game in the PU once more. I don't think CIG leaves things broken for long, right? Knock wood that they hear me. And hopefully Ben answers my call to do a Ben's Day today, and if not, we will return next week with Ben's Day. I'm sure that they are really busy on getting Spectrum rolled out for more testing and moving forward with 6.1, 2.6.1, of course. And I think that I just need to end this before frustration overcomes me, even though I love this game so much. Folks, thanks for listening, watching, subscribing, supporting me at patreon.com/Batgirl. You've all been wonderful for the last 4 years. And I love doing these episodes, especially when they're off the cuff and not scripted and not points written down, because I really want you to hear the passion and the frustration. I want you to hear the good and the bad that I feel about the game. In the end, I'm always very positive about it, no matter how many things are broken, because I know CIG is going to work towards getting everything out to us. But when I do these, I just want you to believe in me, and I want you to hear me as somebody that maybe is just like you, someone that might have those same thoughts and feelings about the game. And with that said, you all be safe out there, and I will talk to you soon.